Hello, ladies and gentlemen. You are watching the only live Monday through Friday lacrosse talk show on the planet. I am your host, Michael Karvelis, and this is Daily Dive. It is Monday, March 23rd, 2026, and this show begins now. We are live streaming a little bit late via the airwaves of North American Talk Radio on YouTube. Please subscribe to the channel for other great shows and live sports. On today's episode, we're going to first talk to Captain, as we're going to start with him as we overreact to Week 17 in the National Lacrosse League. Oh, and Captain might have hit another ladder. Then we'll talk to Pat Gregoire about his Week 17 overreactions, along with Greggy's Grinder and Mike's Lunchbox. And stay tuned for the latest edition of 3 Stars. Before we get started, I want to let you know that there is NLL merchandise found at natalkradio.us/NLL. That includes player name shirts, unboxed logo merchandise, and more. natalkradio.us/NLL. Get your NLL merchandise today and help out this show. It is now my pleasure to bring in a man who is fresh off a third safe ladder of the NLL season. Here is Captain. Captain, how are you, sir?
Any better? I'd need a twin. How you doing?
I love those. Like the one that crawls out of your neck, or a little bit like more separate, you know?
I just have so much joy to share. I can't fit it all in one human.
You were seeing conjoined twins? Like, I haven't seen a lot of those guys in a while, though.
Yeah. Surgeries for that now. Technology.
Oh, I should say you're saying to kill them off then. How dare you, sir? So first of all, nice shirt. We finally got you an official one. Thank you for that. Yes, there it is. I will have to say, though, the ironing job that you guys had was actually, it did the trick, man. It did the trick. How does your wallet, like, is your wallet very happy this morning? I'm sure, like, it feels a lot better than the alternative, right?
Oh, for sure. My knees are not going to ache after this week, and going to ride this right into a potential trip coming up this weekend.
There we go.
Let the people know closer to.
Yeah, we'll get to there. So thank you, Captain, for joining. We will get to the game that got you your insurance, if you will. But the first game we're going to get to is Toronto Rock defeating the Saskatchewan Rush 13-9 in front of a 7,400-ish reported attendance. Toronto improves to 9-5. Saskatchewan drops to 11-4. Saskatchewan actually led this game 3-1, and then it was tied 6-6. But then it was mostly the Rock. Couple of stats here for you. Robert Church had 4 goals. Jake Naso and Nick Rowlett, 15 and 11 face-off wins. Kind of much a wash there. We talked about Rowlett might have a nice day. CJ Curse, another hat trick against a good team. And Nick Rose, 41 more saves. Nothing too big, but that's all she needs sometimes. It's just good. It's just good enough. So my question for the overreaction is, how seriously are you going to take the Toronto Rock at this point in the season, and why?
Well, they're getting healthy, and they're building that chemistry at the right time, right? Getting into the playoff rush. They're sitting at a good spot, like right in the middle of the pack. So, I think they have a good chance here, as long as they can avoid the Bandits, because we all know how that ends for Toronto. But if they get in the middle of the pack here and have a first round against like a Georgia or Colorado, I'm sure they could handle that pretty easily with a healthy Rose. I think Craig is out, so hopefully he can make his way back by playoff time. But yeah, I like this team, and I like their potential here for the playoffs.
Do you think like life on the line they make the finals though?
Like I say, they just got to avoid the Bandits. I feel like that's just their kryptonite, but I definitely could see them, especially with, like I say, Frankie and Saskatchewan kind of not looking like they were, not looking so invincible like they were at the beginning of the season, especially when they're on the road too. Like
that's crazy.
They're struggling, right? So yeah, I feel like the Toronto, if the Rock can get Georgia in the first round, then they take one of these teams in a 2 or 3 series that are struggling on, like a Saskatchewan that just even a Vancouver, like they actually can't win at home lately. But yeah, I like Toronto to kind of zigzag their way through here. Just keep an eye on them. They'll be a nasty little team here for sure.
I talked about this on my show by myself last week, talking to the people, and I asked people, like, what is their weakness? And the only weakness I can find is they're led by some rookies. Like, and I don't know how far that ends up going for me, because like they're beating good teams now, and it was handedly. Like the Rush were on their way back, and they just got the door slammed in their face. I don't know if this game, like you said, was more about the road woes. I mean, you talk about Toronto Rock roadies. I think the Rush needs some of their own out there just to help them out a little bit. I ultimately wrote down that for taking the Rock seriously, not as much as I could, and the reasons I wrote down was rookies and the Buffalo Bandits. Because as good as this Rock team have been, the one team that made them fall was those National Bandits. And if even though rookies can't get it out of their heads, then they're in for a long run. I'm like, I don't even know if I trust them in this 3-game against Saskatchewan and Vancouver. I know they can run with these teams as they go. But like you said with Vancouver, like, is Vancouver more, we trust them in the 3 more than the 1? I don't know. Maybe the Rock do sneak in like the back door and get one of these teams in the first round. I don't know. But I don't know if it's the rookie thing though. I feel like it shouldn't be. So someone's drinking a lot of water.
Max is at the trough right now.
Love that. That's amazing. Any last words on the Rush though, or Brock? I think I'm good too. Good game for Nick Rose again. Like he's had 3 solid, not great, but solid games back. So that's awesome. Hey, listen, I pulled up the smart water.
Okay, Bubs.
Oh, they got stage fright. Come on.
We caught him.
Oh my.
Caught him. He doesn't know what to do now.
I'm terrible. All right.
Skedaddle, Max. No, he's not done.
Hey, the Vancouver Warriors defeated the Ottawa Black Bears 10-8 in front of another 10,000 plus crowd. I say 10,000. It was 10,003 was the reported attendance there. It's funny because listening to those post-game interviews, I don't like to listen to post-game interviews like other people do because there's a lot of layup questions, kind of like the Rock game. But like the Vancouver Warriors, like they've been consistent when they're at home, saying, at least Kurt Malofsky has, like, we love the home crowd feeding off their energy. So shout out to them. They're like, please come in. Apparently, Malofsky told a story that this ownership group like took them to dinner when they were in San Diego or Vegas or something like that, and he said, no, maybe there's not many, if any, NLL teams that'll do that. So like they really care about this team in the city. So that's awesome. I just wanted to throw that out there because actually there was some fun. I liked hearing that. But Vancouver did improve to 11-4. They have clinched a playoff spot. Ottawa drops to 8-7 now, but still holding firm. Keegan Ball had 3 goals, 3 primary assists, including a late clutch one. Del Bianco had 42 more saves. Jeff Teat in a battle of MVPs offensively. He only had 2 goals and 4 primary assists. Callum Jones was a weapon, but it meant nothing in the end because they lost. But I say that, but then I ask this. Do you think a close loss for Ottawa was good for them? And I prefaced that by saying myself and Pat Gregoire wanted Ottawa to just not be pushed around. And I don't think they were pushed around.
Well, I'm going to give a little tough love here. At first, I was kind of thinking, it's not bad. They got close, but I mean, close doesn't win anything. And the other side of Ottawa right now is they've actually got a little bit of a tricky end to their season here. And not getting that win in Vancouver might haunt them when they, play Georgia this Saturday, who, can hold their own on defense and in goal. And then they got the Rock, and then they finish off with Halifax. If Ottawa doesn't get at least one of these 3 wins, each one of, both Rochester and the Seals are in a spot to jump over them here. So I was thinking, it wasn't too bad that they had a close finish, but now when you deep dive and look at the schedule and the end of the season here, it's actually it's bad. Like, they needed that win. Close doesn't get them into the playoffs. Close doesn't get them closer to the title, and close doesn't win anything, unfortunately.
So I guess it's kind of like my Rochester thing. Like if you can't beat these guys now, like, how can you beat them later? And like you saw, like, in the playoffs in general.
If you can't beat them now, you might not even have a chance to beat them later if you don't get something better than close in the last 3 games.
And Ottawa seems like one of those teams where they would prefer a 1-game series, but once it goes past 1, it's like they might get pushed around. So I was impressed that they held their ground, but like you said, like, did I once think that Ottawa was going to actually pull it out? Probably not. And that is a little bit concerning, because I still feel like this sounds odd. They're missing just another guy on offense. I think we talked about that like last week, maybe, or the week before. It just feels like they're like Jeff Teat is going to do it like as much as he can. But once you got guys like Owen Grant, Reed Bowering, whoever else, or Ryan Dilks game planning for him, they can let Rob Hellier and Connor Kieran and Riley O'Connor eat. Like, respect to those guys, they're not even close to Jeff T. Rob Hellier kind of gets there, but like, if I'm a coach, like, obviously the game plan, and that's like, obviously if they added any co-star, it would be, the game plan is Jeff Teat. But like, they can't. I wouldn't even respect the other guys right now, because that is their offense. And 8 goals because the defense, pushed you around, is probably not. You're not winning anything. Like, can you even get out of the first round? And like you said, much less making the playoffs. So yeah, I guess from a fan's point of view, wanting them to do better, it feels good, but they want to make bigger strides, and they're not making those strides right now. Like, strides are not good enough. So there you go. Really good. I mean, it was a good game, but like I said, like, nothing. They weren't doing anything about that game. Now let's get to the one that got you. There's many ways to say money, like mucho dinero. We call it, cash. But first of all, why did you pick this game? And let's do that first. Why did you pick this game, and then we'll get into the breakdown of the whole thing.
I believe we hit the one step there on the Friday, and any chance I can bet against the Roughnecks, come on, I'll take it.
Let's go.
Also,
but you knew the history of these two teams, and Calgary did. Like, what did you tell What did you tell what did you tell Calgary in the locker room? Because I got to know.
I had to send Jim Leahy up to give them each $5 to take a hike somewhere.
Get some ZJ somewhere, yeah.
Yeah, no, I like I say, any chance I can bet against Calgary, I'm usually happy to. They are a dangerous team this year. They did make it close at times, but Colorado, just like Saskatchewan, has just been a juggernaut at home for the most part. They're putting up way more goals for.
They feed
off that energy, yeah. So it's a no-brainer too, with the history of those two teams and just how dominant Colorado has been in the Loud House against Calgary. So yeah, that was a pretty nice finish to the second ladder win in a row.
Be honest, you've hit 3 safe ladders this season alone. When you first came on the show and like we started doing, and you even like helped us out with it, did you see yourself winning more than 2 in a season, or is the fact that 4 is possible like really kind of shocking even you? And how? Because remember, this is a gimmick. They say. Is it kind of shocking to you how good it is?
So they say it is a gimmick, but however, as you know, how many times have I stiffed you on a Friday before the show saying, buddy, I can't lock it in right now because I need to look at a few more details. I want to research a little more. I want to see when you start betting that much money, like you want to see the starting lineups. You want to make sure there are no hiccups before you lock it in. So yeah, as much as people want to call it a gimmick, like I'm sometimes locking it in damn near the last minute, which unfortunately doesn't give a lot of the people a chance to tell me as much as I can try to get
notifications on.
Yeah, but I did when I started this season, I wanted to win 4 ladders.
That was your goal?
That was my goal, but my goal was, full disclosure, my goal was supposed to win 2 of the 10K ladders and then 2 1K ladders, because last season I did 1 of each.
I know.
I'm learning, obviously, right? Like the odds on a parlay to find those plus money picks are a little bit harder to nail down, but I'm learning a lot with the 1K ladders this season and on those picks, especially with, like you find a sleepy book one week that gives like a Vancouver Warriors a -110, right? Like,
right.
We've been very fortunate on it. We've been able to use the books to our advantage, and I hope to hit at least 1 more of the 1Ks before the end of the season.
Sure. I mean, that would be, 41Ks is pretty good. Like, I know like the 10K one, and that the people who call it a gimmick are probably the ones who also lose money on 3-leg parlays. Like, let's be honest. Like the same people who are like, oh, you're just like, and also some of the big accounts are not really on it as much as they should be. I'll be honest, as a person who really like it's like scared of the way people promote parlays, I will say that the single ladders, like the safe ladder, is pretty impressive. It almost makes me wonder, and I'm not telling you to do this, should we encourage people to do, because greedies are still like kind of like a parlays inside of a ladder. I wonder if the safes just keep climbing up, but then again, getting to 1,000 is so difficult in the first place. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like I
10
say,
10 would be nice for the clicks, but I mean, come on.
100%. But one thing to also look to is at this point in the season, if you just want to go off the 1K ladders, the plus minus,
right.
Hutton is a single unit better, and he's just over plus 12 units. Very impressive on the season. My 50 to 1K ladders were plus $2,600 with the 3 wins and take away the couple that crashed. Whoa. So just to put that into comparison, I'm putting up $50 to start. Right. And in some cases it's $50 here, and 6 bets later, I haven't added more to it. It's the same $50.
Correct.
I've risked.
Also, the units exponentially climb, and you're still at the same thing.
Well, what I'm saying is, so for if you're up 12 units with Hutton to match the actual profit of where my single 1K ladders is, you'd have to put out at least $100 per unit, right, to be up, and that would put you at just over $1,200. You'd have to go $200. My bad. You'd have to go $200 per unit with Hutton's route to get to $2,600.
And Hutton is obviously the example because he's the only one with a face on it in the league, pretty much, of the unit betting.
He's one of the few that like you can you know, just like my
Yeah,
all my betting, like you can actually see, you can go back and see the
correct.
history, like scroll
So
through his and scroll through mine. You can see, you know,
I
every bet
know,
I've made and all that.
but it's like it's interesting, like seeing like there's not many faces in this space. It's nice comparing. Now, one more thing I'll ask you, and then we'll get to the actual gameplay of this. Do you think the ladder is? I want to see, I guess, reliance on a league like the NLL that's a little bit. I don't want to say it's not easier to bet. Okay, that's a lie. It is easier to bet because the books are not taking it as seriously. I don't know why at this point, because you're killing them. You and the polar bears are in the courtroom right now, and you're like, hey, hands in the air, I surrender, pal. But like, I'm trying to figure out, like, is the ladder reliant on a WNBA or an NLL or a PLL or even like a volleyball type thing, or you think every sport works?
I'll be honest. I think the week to week sports like the
I like that.
NLL and the NFL
That's a good
are
idea.
a little bit easier because, like in prediction wise, just because, like lineups are a little bit easier to predict, injuries are a little bit easier to predict.
There's
Where
also a lot of hype that like people like to bet with.
yeah, and in the
Yeah,
NHL, like you have back to backs, you have funky schedules, you have, you know, all kinds of different, you know, different goalies, different lineup changes, lots more
right.
injuries. Even in the NBA, guys sitting there, time management, like, you know, how many people have put up money to bet
That
on something or
that's
go
annoying.
see a
Yeah,
game and oh, buddy's not playing because it's just his time to take a rest. Like the NLL, like I give props to these players, like they show up, they put everything into it every night.
with
They
a day
come
job.
out.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's definitely a little easier to bet the week to week
that's a good point.
sports in a ladder format, anyways. But at the end of the day, it still requires obviously luck. That's with any betting, but to know some of the teams, you know, and a little bit of the inside of how they play at home, how
Yeah.
different, you know, where different players are from when they're on the road, and all these sort of things kind of help you generate a little bit of a better chance at beating the polar bears up, you know.
You got a few bruises on him. Thank you, Captain. All right. This game, just to get touch on it real quick. 9,300 reported attendance. Colorado also clinches a playoff berth as they improve to 10-5. Took them 3 weeks, but they finally did it. And even at halftime, the NLL graphics crew, if there is one, is like hyping it up. I'm like, guys, they're doing it again. But thankfully they held off. Roughnecks dropped to 4-10. This game was actually tied 8-8. Tyler Pace had 5 goals. Aiden Walsh had 36 saves, and 14 goals allowed, but he was not the reason they lost. Andrew Q. Oh, and by the way, imitation is the best form of flattery. I want to know who in the NLL communications department has my notifications on, because I tweeted out, "Oh, barbecue, that's a cool nickname." I know those social admins don't watch the games. And for them to put a stinking graphic of barbecue, screw you, pal. I can't believe you. Now, I did not make the nickname up. That was from a fan in the crowd. But I'm like, bro, come on. An hour and a half after. Shame on you. Have some pride here. Anyways, but no, Andrew Q, I mean, I tweeted out that like 0.2 seconds left. And Andrew Q's like, screw your plus 1.5s. And like, here's a sock trick. So we have to clean this up and Calgary ain't going home. Yeah, that was amazing. I love, because you know Denver was going to let them puppies fly. Also, one of our old friends was at that game, which is kind of cool to see. A
Nice.
good old Bigo. That was kind of cool. I saw that. I was, oh, look at
Beauty.
that. That was a nice little cherry on top. I'm doing war at 48 saves, by the way. The question I'll ask you, and then we'll let you go, Captain. What did you? No, that's not the right one. Wow, is Colorado back? My bad. I was going back to the ladder thing. Is Colorado back?
Man, they're an interesting team this season because
Yep.
I've compared them to being Ottawa on steroids, because when they are in a lull, like it's bad, man. Like putting up 5-7 goals in a few of these games, but when they're red hot, you know, it's exciting to watch. I think Ward is a big factor in their longevity to stay on the for Riziel side of it instead of the fraud side of it. But
yes, that's what I meant to ask. Are they fraud or for real? I apologize. I actually changed that in post, so my bad.
Yeah, top 4. I'm gonna say they're just there. But if you're going top 8, they're for real for sure in the NLL.
And shout out to I don't know if you ever tried like there's this milkshake brand called For Real, but there you go. Well, I guess we'll get to the Tim Hortons Cup next week. Are they still doing that promotion?
I got 1 cup left. I was going to do it when, but you shut her down because apparently there was a couple snowflakes and a windstorm there in Georgia.
Oh, that's rough. I love it.
You knew I was going to ask. I was just waiting to throw one at you for that one. But
that was good. But
yeah, I got 1 more cup. Maybe next week we'll do. Have we done Ottawa yet?
No. Halifax and San Diego.
Yeah, so maybe
Cup said yes, by the way.
It said yes twice in a row.
You got a free cup out of it.
Yeah, so I got 1 cup left. We'll save that for next week, depending on Ottawa's outcome here. And
I love it.
We'll either do it on them or Rochester because there's a couple teams here on the cup.
I'm gonna have a field day with Rochester on the next segment. Thank you, Captain, for all that you do. Stay cool, man. And keep up those ladders. And if you got anything left to give the polar bears, we're ready for them, man.
No, I'm just ready to do some research and get at her next week again.
And you tell Max I send my love and tell him to drink as much as he needs to.
Yeah, sounds good.
Right,
talk to you later.
Oh man. Well, bet is a man. I know there's a little bit of we talked a little bit about the betting side of things, but that's impressive. 3 safe ladders in 1 season, and we still have 4 weeks left now. That's 1, 2. Yeah, we have 4 weeks. Oh my! Is there a chance for another regular season safe ladder? Will Captain push the envelope here? I can't wait. We come back. We're going to talk to Pat Gregoire, who had an off week, but I'm sure he was watching the games. Absolutely. You're watching Daily Dive. Do not go anywhere. We will be right back.
You're listening to North American Talk Radio, the all-new talk radio station featuring sports, movies, politics, mental health, and more. Check us out at natalkradio.com and subscribe today. Buy event tickets straight from our website to help the cause and get tickets to your favorite events for less. That's natalkradio.com. Thanks for listening.
Start, but we are rocking and rolling. You're watching Daily Dive, the only live Monday through Friday lacrosse talk show on the planet, focused mainly on the NLL. It is Monday, March 23rd, 2026. I do see you on Premier Lacrosse League and WLL. Those jerseys in Japan are sweet. I respect you, but that is all the love you're getting from me right now because we are in week 17, or we were in week 17. We got to overreact to it, though. And again, our shop, that's not what I wanted. Our shop, the NLL shop is at nhtalkradio.us/NLL. because you don't care about our logo, you care about theirs. Anyways, good God Almighty, I need to get that down. Let's bring in a man who may have been off but was still grinding the game tape there. Pat Gregoire is here. How are you, sir?
Doing good, Mike. Yeah, it was an off week for my broadcasting, but very much an on week for my couch between all these crazy NLL games, March Madness. Just a massive crater on my couch from this weekend, but ready to get back at it. The work starts right now. Don't have a game this weekend, so much of the same. But man, oh man, what unbelievable action we had in the NLL this week.
Yeah, Miss Greggy's like, oh my goodness, what is this? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's like, is just sitting there burning or simmering a little bit?
Yeah,
how's
absolutely.
your bracket? How's your bracket?
Bracket's not busted. Bracket's doing pretty
that.
good, Mike. I saw you put out your some of your
East.
numbers there. Perfect East. I was close to Perfect East. I think I won. My entire Elite Eight is still intact. My Final Four is still intact. So it's been pretty good, but full transparency. We love transparency here, Mike.
Correct.
The bracket's great. The bets were not great this weekend. They were not great this weekend. I don't know why.
That's right.
Couldn't pick a winner to save my life. I think I maybe won 3 or 4 bets all weekend long, but hey, the bracket's doing well. So
negative units probably for you.
Yeah.
Too bad you work for the NLL. That would be great, wouldn't it?
I mean, if I could bet my own picks right now, I'd be a pretty rich man. Maybe not as much as captain in his ladders, but my 60 odd percent winning percentage right now is pretty good. I'll give myself a little tap in the back.
I'm saying one more thing here about that is that we need more Hutton Jacksons and captains. I don't care if they're doing ladders or units. I need more of those guys, and we're going to grow and get there, but I need some more friends. Even though captain might be getting something, I'm having a lot of gamblers follow me like, hey, I'm just here. I'm just here to do a show, man.
Oh man, that's a way how you can grow this game is obviously people love wagering on sports. They love fantasy. They love daily fantasy. Yep. And to be quite honest, people don't really care. There's people that bet on, Korean table tennis.
Love that.
Like they just get an itch and it's a quick way to make some money and get a rush, then that's what they're going to do. As long as you're staying cool and betting responsibly, of course. But one thing that I think that is really great about this is the fact that we do have a product, I'll say, better than table tennis or better than, whatever they might be, the niche sports that they're looking to bet on.
They'll get locked in regardless, yeah.
They'll get locked in on their bets, but then you know what? They might see it that it's on ESPN or they'll see that it's on TSN and they'll watch it and they'll be like, oh, wow, this is actually an unbelievable sport. This is actually something that I'm really interested in. And I think the league kind of noticed, I shouldn't say kind of, they noticed that. They realized that. That's why they have these deals in place with alt sports. They recognize, and Brett Fruit has said it on our program multiple times, that he believes that gamifying lacrosse, gamifying the NLL is a way to get fans through the door, get them watching games. And I think that we're just kind of at the tip of the iceberg here. There's still so much that needs to come. More player props, more, like you said, guys giving out their picks, having the transparency though of their units, their win-loss percentage, all that kind of stuff. So we're getting there, and kudos to captain, kudos to Hutton Jackson for having those platforms, but we do need more of them.
Absolutely. And kudos to Cool Bet. Now let's get into our 3 games and stay tuned for Greggy's Grinder and the Lunchbox. Oh boy, what could it be this week? I forgot who John Wayne, what show he was in, so I apologize for that last week. All right,
You're forgiven. You're forgiven.
Yeah, the Georgia Swarm stayed home, and this time they put the hurting on. Even though Halifax was like, easy, Pally, we're not going to run outside of your building, and they didn't. This game got super gross and tight because Georgia led 14-4, and the score ended up 17-16. They claim there was 4,000 people there. I don't know who. I think they're counting a lot of people standing outside. Maybe thought about going in. I'm sorry. I can say that because I'm here. Okay.
Yeah.
Withers. I know Georgia concedes the face-off, But can we give a shout out to the man, the myth, the legend? His name is New York State Patrol Mike Manley for getting the one face-off win. Let's go. 35 is disgusting, man. I don't know what kind of record. 35-36 is gross. Shout out to Withers. Just quick stats here. Clark Pearson, Stephen Keogh, 4 goals each. Nolan Burnett did most of his damage in the first half. 4 goals for him. Jacob Hickey, for the record, won a game for him. Jordan McIntosh, Michael Grace, all those guys were getting after it. Brett Dobson, a little bit leaky again, even though he wasn't the most leaky. That was poor Devlin Shanahan, whatever Cuomo thought he was doing. But the question is here, how impressive, 6 goals allowed in 5 minutes. How impressive out of all that happened was this win for Georgia out of 10? What a game.
What a game. What an unbelievable game. And full transparency, I watched probably up until it was 7-1. And then my full attention went over to the Rock game. Maybe check back in at halftime, little look-ins here and there. But once Halifax started to make a little bit of a push, that's where I put, the multicast view back on and started to lock in a little more. It's interesting. This is a great question, Mike, that you propose here, because to be quite honest, it's, you think about it, this offense, finally came to life and finally put up some good numbers.
First half.
This, and I'm going to get there.
Yeah.
The defense in the first half got back to looking more like what we saw earlier in the year, not like the helter-skelter defense that was in, Vancouver, where they got exposed big time. Brett Dobson looked much, much better, looked a lot more like himself.
Yes.
But what happened in the second half, especially that fourth quarter, I don't know how you can say this is an impressive win for Georgia at all. Is it a gritty win? Is it a character win? Is it a win that you're happy that you figured out a way how to win? Absolutely. I'm saying it's a 2 out of 10. To quote the great Canadian Shania Twain once again on this program, that don't impress me much, to be quite frank, because yes, I understand a lot of people are going to throw Devlin Shanahan under the bus, and for good reason. 6 goals and 9 shots in just 5 minutes and 15 seconds of play. But the defense looked horrendous in that fourth quarter. They completely got away what was working from them. And as pressure continued to mount, the worse they started to look. The offense went cold in the second half. They didn't have that mentality of finishing games out. Listen, it's great that they got the win. It's heartbreaking for Halifax that you claw all the way back to this point and you can't get a win. But anytime you get outscored 10-1 in the fourth quarter, and I will say this, man, oh man, Ed Camo, congratulations, 150 wins, second all time in coaches wins. What a great career he has had as a coach, one of the great lacrosse minds of our game, one of the best people in the game. But that was malpractice not putting Brett Dobson in that game longer. And I know he talked to Ty Mara. You can see on Ty Mara Lax his column about the game after, and said, listen, if I come out here and I'll be honest, if I keep Dobson in the full game and things get out of hand and he gets bumped into and hurts his knee, then everyone's coming at my neck saying, why didn't you take Dobson out of the game? On the flip side, listen, you take him out and this comeback happens. It's also at a point everyone's looking at me. I throw him a little bit earlier in there. He's cool. He's like, it's a lose-lose situation for Brett because of where he's coming in between the pipes, because he's coming in cold. And he looked like he was a goaltender coming in cold, to be quite frank. But I thought that was very, very poor mismanagement of taking Brett Dobson out at that point in the game and then not putting him back in sooner. If that was the case, when you're up big, take him out just start him. On the bench for the fourth quarter. Allow him. Okay, fourth quarter, Brett, you're not playing. Similar to what we've seen Ed Camo do this year. He did it in Edmonton.
Yeah.
Start at the fourth quarter and allow Shanahan to take as much time as possible in that fourth quarter. And if there is then that push, then you put Dobson back in. But at the point, it was goal after goal after goal. Dobson's running down the hall trying to find his gear so he can go back in the net. By that time happens, finally, it's now a 1-goal game, and you're asking Brett Dobson to go in cold after sitting on the bench for, I don't know, about 10 minutes.
It was 5 and 15, I think. Or he's like total,
total, right? Yeah, that's 5 minutes and 15 seconds of gameplay.
Correct.
There's probably a commercial break during that.
Might have been
well.
10 or 15, yeah.
Right, exactly. So I think that Georgia completely dodges a bullet here, and that if this game was extended, by another 5 minutes, I don't see how Halifax doesn't win that game. I really don't.
Lose by 2. They lose by 2 or more.
Yeah, and they got lucky in transition. But man, oh man, Mike, this is one where I think there's a lot of looking in the mirror for Georgia the last few games, recognizing, okay, listen, it was a great start to the season, but we got to tighten things up. We got to figure things out. And as good as that first half was, everything that they did positive in that first half is thrown out because of what happened in that second half. And I'm not, a lot of people want to just say, well, look, look what happened when Dobson came out of the game. Those bad habits were creeping in before that. Dobson in the fourth had to make a lot of big time saves. Like there was that pushback was coming before. And like you mentioned, Mike, the offense going quiet in the second half, getting was it 6 goals in that second half? Outscored 12-6. Like you can't get doubled up in the second half and expect to win. They did. They got lucky because of that 10-1 first quarter. But this was teetering on nightmare situation for Georgia. They got very lucky.
I like that breakdown. And was it the diabetes thing, or was it just
no? So from me personally did not have the conversations, but from what I've heard and what I read with Ty Mayer, TyMayerLax.com, go take a look at all his great analytics if you haven't already. But he always, because he's down in Georgia, so he always talks to coaches and players after the game, puts it in.
He was up there interviewing folks when I was there.
Yep. And so he had a conversation. And that was his first question to explain the Dobson situation. And he kind of went in and just said he was giving him a break, no injury, nothing like that. Just was giving him a break. Like I said, because there are instances, again, you're the first person to note this as well. Halifax, when things start to go south, they've been known to pull off some wild stuff. So like in theory, I don't necessarily disagree with Dobson coming out of the game. I just would have done it at a different time. And as soon as that pushback starts to happen, I put Dobson in, call a timeout, do something here to not allow this to rear its ugly head. And that's kind of where I lay at it. Maybe it was something, but based off everything I'm hearing, it was just more of a coaching strategy thing than any sort of health concerns for Dobson.
And I get you're blowing a team out, but most times when a goalie actually, because people don't realize this is kind of like the NFL. You want the starting quarterback to sit, but he rarely does, even in the end of a game. But they can also hand the ball off 1,000 times. For a goalie, you're right. You don't know, regardless if it's Halifax or whoever, you don't want him getting hurt at all. But it seemed like this happened if I do the math, the 7-minute mark of the fourth quarter, probably. I'm like, that's and you're right. It's already starting to build momentum. Shanahan's getting shelled. Man, that is brutal. That's a brutal move, man. And it's you're almost trusting Shanahan to turn the switch, and it's he's not doing it. So I don't know. My answer to the question was 5. Go ahead.
And just one quickly thing on Shanahan. Yes, he was less than ideal, but a lot of those chances were wide open looks.
Absolutely.
So Shanahan as well, as bad as the situation as Dobson was put in the fourth quarter at the end of the game to try to shut the door, as bad as a situation as that was for him, it's just as bad a situation for Shanahan to get thrown into that game as well. That's why I thought
played much at all this year anyways.
No, that's why I thought at the start of the fourth quarter, probably would be your best bet, because, then if the goals do start sinking, okay, Dobson just can come back in and things start to settle down once again.
Right. Yeah. So Michael Grace, the one from Halifax, said definitely not a win the Swarm should be proud of. That sums it up for me. Like, this is, and I'll take that a step further than that comment here. This is about as bad of a win as you can get. And like, meaning as gutless as, like, you could go in the locker room and go like from 0 to 100. Like you said, you're probably at a 1 of the win scale. Like, because you're never going to be, like, I asked Captain about the positives. Like, it almost feels like Ottawa feels better than Georgia this week. And that's how bad this game went for me for Georgia. Is like, you felt, and even the worst part is, you may not even call this the halftime interview for Nolan Byrne. He basically calls out him and his team for being soft the last couple of games. This is the second half kind of checks out. Like, I mean, to have a player actually say that at halftime, saying, we're not satisfied, but were you? Possibly, because that's the only way that happens. And you're never going to admit it publicly, but deep down, it's like, I don't want to compare him to drug addicts here. It's kind of like when I'm on Facebook, I'm seeing people comment about how, oh, you know, he's in jail, but he'll get out of it. It's like, the first thing he needs to do is admit he has a problem. And so it's like, whatever happened, like, you guys did get soft and complacent for whatever reason. And it might just be the inexperience, possibly. It could be that, because maybe in juniors this doesn't happen. But it happened in the National, and Halifax made them pay. And shout out to the Birds, by the way. I keep saying it, they have lost these games recently so close against good teams. They can't find a way to win it now. Shout out to them, man, for they don't stop. They don't stop fighting. And I know that it could be the penalties with the Dawson Thief thing, but it's like, they find a way to keep fighting. And that's something if Georgia had in that game, this game never happens like this. They stay blowing them out. Halifax is not. We're showing you what it's like to play a full 60. Shout out to them, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's, if you're Halifax, you're probably shaking your head that your season ultimately could be done unless you run the table.
It's done.
And it is. I mean, they technically, if they win out, but like, look at their
schedule. They're not the
Wings,
but they're done.
Yeah, it's next. It's going to take a miracle effort, and even a miracle effort in that second half. Like Clark Peterson, the last 2 games, 10 and 11 points, 21 points in the last 2 games, and you've come out with a loss, a 1-goal loss in both of them. Like, that's absolutely heartbreaking. So, you know, yes, kudos to Halifax, but if we're going to be harsh on Georgia for coming out strong and then blowing the lead, we also got to be harsh on Halifax for absolutely laying an egg in the first half, in the first quarter. And sure, it's great that you came back, but maybe if you didn't start the first quarter sleeping, you probably win that game by 5 goals.
It kind of sounds like the people they replaced after Rochester. It's funny. Or whoever replaced them in Rochester. It's just funny how the blood is still there, the DNA. I want to give the Clark Pearson just one more time here, because you didn't give him enough credit. 21. Okay, he had 5 loose balls. I don't know why I thought he had more loose balls last week. I was tripping. He had 14 this week, though. Not bad.
Yeah, he really tried to will his team to victory, and damn, he came close. I thought Peterson the fourth quarter was fantastic. No doubt. Like, he was unbelievable in that entire fourth quarter. But I thought Stephen Keogh and Cody Jamieson were the 2 oldest guys on the team, were the ones who dragged that team in the fight. And that's great for them, and great to see those guys do it. But you cannot allow a 37 and a 39-year-old guy to be the ones that are driving the bus. So I think that needs to be a hard look in the mirror for some of these young guys on that roster that especially don't have guaranteed spots the rest of the way here and next year, because this team is as much as Jacob McDonald wants a scorched earth rebuild in Halifax, it's not happening. A rebuild isn't happening. A retooling is happening. I think this team could look very different come next year. And I think there's a lot of guys on that team, especially on the offensive side of the ball, that need to recognize that. And if they haven't recognized that, That is a problem. That is an absolute problem. So yes, good learning point. It probably costs you your season, but these next 4 games or whatever they have to close out the year, you're not just trying to battle into the playoffs, Mike. You're playing for jobs now at this point.
Yeah.
You are playing so you don't get cut at training camp, or in the offseason, Kurt Stiers isn't shipping you somewhere else. Or if you're battling for a contract, that you get that re-signing. I really think that, yes, the core is probably going to stay the same. I think we'll see a lot of those guys stay the same. But some of those ancillary characters,
yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised if this team looks a little bit different next year.
Might be for a way better, because especially when you're selling out Barnes, like your owner's a little bit more incentivized to start making moves. I love it.
Yep. Yeah.
Desert Dogs do defeat the corpse of Halifax 17-13 in a game that got a little bit chippy. The reason why is because Las Vegas was up 6-0, 8-1, and then Rochester somehow found a way to lead 13-12, and then after that, it wasn't. I'm going to give credit to Landon Kells in a later segment, as you'll find out. I got to give Sean Williams a lot of props here, man, because he pulled the trigger on Bouquet at the perfect time. Not only to start him last week, but you know the exact moment when to give up. And Kells goes in there, goes 11 for 11, and Rochester doesn't score again. And it's not like Vegas. I feel like by that point, Rochester's defense had caught back up, but Kells wasn't allowing anything, and Vegas was just doing great. So Vegas improves to 6-7. Rochester drops to 5-8. Mitch Jones had 4 goals, 4 primary assists. Adam Patra, 5 goals. He's been awesome in the last few games. Love him. Nathan Kapp was really good. Made Hammer Jackson look silly out there. Connor Fields did have 5 goals, but that 5th goal was that 13th goal, and that was all Rochester had to offer. Hutch cracking in for Hartley. I'll get to that as we talk more about the game. But the overreaction question is, if Las Vegas makes the playoffs and they are now at a franchise record 6 wins, even though I don't think that's a great thing to say, how far do they go if it was up to you right now?
Listen, I think we do have to give this team a lot of credit. Back-to-back wins, never easy. It doesn't matter who your opponent is. Ask Georgia.
Exactly.
They split against Philadelphia, for crying out loud. I think what they've been able to do offensively over the last couple of weeks, again, very impressive. What they've been able to do offensively without Chase Fraser in this lineup is mightily impressive as well. I mean, some games they haven't looked as sharp at the start, but down the stretch, they've figured things out. And from all indications, it sounds like he's starting to get better, and he could appear at the end of the year or into playoffs. Sean Wesley was listed as questionable. That's another dangerous righty that you can add into that lineup. I think the defense is starting to find its form. Zach Young and Tyson Bell added onto that back end. I think that has helped a lot as well. I think that this is probably going to be an underreaction, or maybe it's an overreaction. I don't know. I'm going to say it's in the playoffs and it's a first round exit. And call me a hater all you want. I think that this is them sticking with the plan. I don't buy the narrative that not everyone, a lot of people are saying, wow, Vegas went all in this year. They went all in this year. Did they go all in free agency? They went all in-ish because they didn't address their goaltending. They didn't fully address.
Or their defense, really. Or their defense. Yeah, you're right.
They picked up a couple pieces. They improved their defense. But coming into this year, it was never championship or bust for Sean Williams and this group.
Correct.
It was, this is a plan. And I have to give Sean Williams credit, because to have a 3-year or 4-year plan, I don't know what the plan is. But let's say 3, because I think that's what Fraser and Kluche signed to. 3-year deals. You got to think, and I'm not too sure. I can't remember what Jones was. Maybe 2.
Right.
They can say this is a team that can win a championship as much as they want. We know we want to win a title. You can say that as much as you want till you're blue in the face. But I know deep down inside that coach's room, inside the boardroom, Sean Williams said, listen, this is our plan. Year 1 is to make the playoffs. Year 2 is to go on a deep run. Year 3 is to win a championship or get to that NLL finals. I can guarantee you that it was a tiered process. This year, he did not go to Joe's side and say, empty the pocketbook, go into the vault, give me all this money in free agency because we're going to win a championship right now. Because if that was the case, they would have gone and signed a goalie or traded for a goalie.
And he would have been gone. Yeah.
Yes. And so if that's the case, then a first round exit should not be considered a failure for this group. Getting into the playoffs is what this group should do. If they do win a round, I'd be shocked because let's be honest, Mike, if they win out, they get to 11 wins. I still think 11 wins maybe gets you to 6th. You're still playing a top 3 seed. Right. In what world do you think Vegas is knocking off Saskatchewan, Vancouver, or Colorado in round 1?
Especially on the road.
Bingo. In those buildings, I don't see it happen. Maybe if they can sneak up to a 4-5, I just don't see how you catch Georgia at this rate or you catch Toronto at this rate. Both of them have 9 wins. Georgia, maybe. I think Georgia, maybe. Toronto, though, I think Toronto's probably going to get up to that 4th spot.
So you think they're getting a road playoff game at least?
They're probably going to finish in 8th and have to play most likely Vancouver or Saskatchewan. Woo. And I just don't see things ending well for them in a one and done playoff. Sure, could it happen because the first round is crazy and it is a single elimination? Sure, absolutely. Right. But I just don't see it happening with the current state of their goaltending, even though, like you said, Sean Williams has done a great job navigating what it is. But when it comes to playoffs, 17, 16, 15 goals for, that's not going to come. We've seen it time and time again. As soon as playoffs happens, the whistles go away. There's less penalties. It's more physical. Teams' defenses lock in.
And 12 or 13 wins.
Yeah. Yeah. And they can get to 12 or 13, but in a playoff game, I don't know if they can. And even if they do get to 12 or 13, I think a team's putting in more than that in the playoffs as well. So a little bit counterproductive of what I'm saying, but I just don't think this year this team is built for a long playoff run unless Landon Kells plays like he did in those last, however many minutes he had down the stretch. So I think getting into the playoffs is exactly what this team needs to do. Compete in that round one against a top team, and that is a successful building block that you can have going into next year.
Wow. So I think you might have – I wasn't much more optimistic, even though I did say I think their ceiling is getting swept in round 2. But – after what you told me, do I trust him to walk into a away barn and do it to get to that point? Probably not. It's probably better for them just to not have to wait around to get swept anyway. So you're right. Like just kind of like what Ottawa did against Vancouver. Okay, good little run. You were competitive. This is a quality season loss, but we're going to be okay. So I like it because that's pretty much where I landed as well. I've been a skeptic, and it's not like for bad reason here because they showed a graphic. This is before the game ended. Sean Williams' career coaching record 20-47. So this year making the playoffs would be very impressive at this point. So I give him. I said it from day one. There was a lot of people who thought, "Oh man, they're going to go on a run." I'm like, but why? I couldn't figure out. Like, they outscore their problems again because we've seen how that works. Not even Rochester can do that. So, I don't know. Speaking of Rochester, I do have to get to this now because we're pretty much on the same page with Vegas. I tweeted out, what time was this Eastern? 1:40 a.m. I said, just finished rewatching the Vegas-Rochester game. Nighthawks started very slow. Rylan Hartley got burned because of the easy opportunities his defense allowed. I was texting you as I was watching this game. I know you were sleeping, and good for you for that. Because apparently I needed to starting the show 10 minutes late today. But I believe of the first 11 goals, is it fair to say that 9 of them were completely unfair to the goaltender? I know you want Hartley or Hutchcraft to do it to make a save, but at what point? I know, like, what was it? Gilray, another guy, was out for this game again. Have some pride on the defense, man. They were getting electrocuted by those offensive players over stuff where I'm like, how does that even happen? Like, Mitch Jones literally turns his head, defense, 5 guys go this way, and he snipes it. I'm like, what the heck was that? All 5 of you turned your head? All 5 of you. I couldn't believe it, man. I feel really bad for Len Hartley because I've been on him. This was not on him. This was getting destroyed, man.
Yeah, I think Hartley, that there was 1 or 2 early on that I thought,
yes.
I think it was the outside shot, maybe from Kluche.
Yes, that was awful. I agree.
The first goal, 41 seconds. And then after that, though, like, Patra's first goal, Kluche's, like, there was just breakdown after breakdown. Belgrave in transition. Like, for me, Mike, and I've been beating this drum for a long time, and I've just said it, this team is not good defensively. They have some serious issues defensively. They have too many of the same type of players on this team. Yes, they're fast, they're athletic, they get out to hands, and I love Taylor Jensen's game. But, like, you can't have 5 Taylor Jensens. You can't have, right. You need a blend. And sure, you've got Ian Lord back there, but Ian Lord he's getting up there in age. And you need other players around to insulate the Jake Pacino's, the Taylor Jensens. I just feel like this is just not the best blend of defenders for that back end.
Like, and big mean bodies.
But yes, mean bodies, or even bodies that are just sound, calm, steady defenders that, that are always there on the backside, that are aware, that are help slides, that are doubling when they know when to double, when they're not doubling to not double, but they're not worried about transition. When a shot comes, they're more worried about picking up that loose ball or boxing out their men. Like I said, they have a couple of bruisers on the back end, a couple of shot blockers like an Ian Lord, and then they've got a lot of great offensive transitional pieces that can play great one-on-one defense. And again, this is not a knock on Taylor Jensen because I think he's probably been their best defender.
That's not good, though. That's not a good thing to say, though.
Exactly. So, and I get it. Rylan Reese has been out with injury. Gilray's been out with injury. But, like, 1 or 2 guys out of your defense can't nuke your complete defense for the year. Heck, like, you look at Buffalo. Like, Nick Weiss goes out and they're fine. And again, I'm not asking Rochester to have Buffalo Bandits defense, but I need them to be better. And especially if you're the situation that you have with your goaltenders. And I know this one I'm not putting on the goalies because, especially Hutchcraft, I thought he was great when he came in. The only way this team looks good defensively is when the goalies play great. And at the start of the year, I still was saying it's like they didn't even really look that good. They still were giving up 60+ shots, and Hartley just stood on his head. That's not good defense. Just because the team allowed a small amount of goals doesn't mean the defense played well. No, correct. It's the goalie played really well. So I think there has to be major overhaul on that defense, or they have to put a goaltender in that each and every night you're getting 40 saves from, and you can play that high risk, high risk, high reward style of defense because you know that goalie is going to be there on the back line, but you can't play the way that they play defensively when your goaltender, you don't know what you're getting from them. You don't know if they're getting the save. You don't know what's happening. And unfortunately, as of late, you do know what you're getting out of them, and it's not a lot of saves.
Yeah.
So you got to figure out how you can lock it in defensively, and they have not done that. And I don't think they have the group to do that, Mike.
Yeah, and that's why I looked at, because you're right, like you said, steady defenders who like to help with the slides, and I'm like, I'm watching these guys get lost. Like, they're oh, how'd that happen? Like, what do you mean how'd it happen? The dude, when Mitch Jones can turn his head, and not just the one play, multiple plays, like where he just flips behind his back, making you look like an elementary schooler. And it's, was it, killing or someone is right on the doorstep. I'm like, how? That should not be the only way that gets you off your man. Like, you have to understand that offenses are going to try to toy with you. And if you're going to let them undress you, they're going to keep on undressing you. That was roof. Now, granted, when the comeback happened, suddenly they were getting in front of shooters. I don't know what happened at halftime, but somehow they looked better. And I also think that the reason why Vegas ended up winning the game in the end was they seemed to just grab the offensive loose balls again. Like, because Rochester, like with their energy, even Randy Mern said, I forgot when, probably at the halftime when they started to come back a little bit, he's like, energy. Like, we need Connor-Fields to back to trail check. We need like there were times when they were like, then their offense would take like 20 seconds to get on. Like, could y'all run just a little bit faster? Because even I could run out there faster than that at this point. I don't know, man. That was rough.
No, you're totally right. And it's like Dan Coates, 38 years old. Again, another guy talking about these old guys like playing late in their careers. Like, I get 11 loose balls. Like,
he was trying. Yes, he looked good.
I'm sorry, dude. Dan Coates can't lead your team in loose balls on the defensive side of the
or energy.
The board.
Like,
that can't be the case. Like, you've got your energy guys to be your energy guys, and when they're getting outworked and out hustled from your grinders like Lord and like Coates, and again, Coates again is he still has a lot of gas in the tank, but he's not the same defender he once was. But he's adapted his game really well. But if he's a guy that is the one that's like, it's, man, like, again, I think a lot of it is roster construction. I also think, again, we haven't even talked about it, but like, you completely get rid of your coaching staff, or 2/3 of it or whatever. They look the exact same. They look the exact same. And now you've put Matt DeLille, who is a great young lacrosse mind, but now you've put him in. He's your video coach, and now he's your defensive coach, and you're expecting him to turn things around. Like, and this is no shot at him. Like, he's probably going to be a great coach, a great assistant coach one day. But like, you're putting him in a bad spot now too.
I'm looking. We don't know what Seneca Nation will do. I almost asked this question for this game. I didn't know what to do with it. Are we sold? And I think Randy Mearns could be a good coach. He's got the resume for it. Are we sold to Seneca Nation? Because I keep saying it, they did not name him head coach. They made him interim. It's been very clear to say that, even by the broadcasters. I'm like, oh, so he's actually literally auditioning, and he's not. That's crazy to me. Because again, I'm so used to a league that doesn't fire coaches at all, and this guy doesn't even have his job locked in. I think Seneca Nation might. I don't think they're playing around.
No, they aren't. They aren't, Mike. And I think, I don't think necessarily Randy Mearns has to keep his job by getting this team in the playoffs. I think they just have to show signs of life, show signs that this group is receptive to the way that he coaches. And let's be honest, Randy Mearns is a player's coach. He's a player's coach. He's a motivational coach. He brings energy. And I think here's the thing, Mike. It's like, I think Randy Mearns can survive, but I think he needs to have the proper coordinators in place.
We see those guys. Yeah.
We see this in football all the time, especially in college football. Like Ed Orgeron, for example, unbelievable motivator. Yeah, exactly. Go Tigers. Unbelievable motivator, a leader of men, a great recruiter. But when it comes to X's and O's, I mean, the guy's really not that great of a coach, but he surrounds himself with great offensive coordinators. And I'm not saying that with Randy Mearns, because what he's done, he knows the game really, really well. But for him to basically step onto a bench where he hasn't coached box lacrosse in 25 years.
The challenge flag story was wild.
Yeah, said that on OTCB. We had it first.
Love that.
You could hear it. He was very honest. He was very honest with a lot of the things, and the challenges. And it is going to be a challenge. But I do believe that Randy Mearns, with his previous coaching experience, being able to lead as a leader, a player's coach, a motivator, his eye for the game, his eye for talent, I think that can be successful. But for him to be so far removed from coaching, and you know, sure he's done broadcasting as well too, but to then jump onto the bench, it's difficult. So I think he, you know, and he's got two very good young coordinators, but they're also young too. They're also learning the ropes as well. So
correct.
I'm curious to see what happens if Randy Mearns stays around. My assumption will be two other coordinators probably come in that have some experience to help him out, or it's going to be the entire staff is not is relieved of their duties, and a completely new staff comes in. I hope for Randy Mearns' sake, and I think he's a guy that can have success as a coach in this league, just given his resume and giving his knowledge and everything that I know about him as a leader. I think it can work. I really do. But I think this situation has to be great. And even if he had two great coordinators with him right now, Mike, two veterans, seasoned veterans, the situation that he's been put in is less than ideal to begin with.
Correct.
The fact that you think a new voice is just going to flip the switch and change things is pretty naive. But I agree with you. I think the fact that Seneca Nation is putting that interim tag on, the fact that they made that brash move shows that they're not messing around, and they're not okay with being complacent with just being an okay team. They want to be a great team, and I have to give them full respect there.
Absolutely. One more thing I'll say about him that I really enjoyed hearing was apparently he told Hartley to play, was it more up high, was it?
Yes.
That was, I thought you froze. Like, oh no, not Friday again. My bad.
No. So yeah. Yes. So
that was impressive though.
Yeah. First and foremost, like, listen, I like to think I know the game of box lacrosse pretty well. I coached the level. Sure, it's at junior B. I watched as many games as probably anyone on the planet watches when it comes to the NLL. But when I coach, I'm not giving goalies tips. I don't know what when it comes to, one-on-one coaching. I can tell you what a good goalie looks. I can tell you when a goalie has good mechanics. I can tell you the style of goalie. I can tell you what works and what doesn't. But when it comes to it, for me, I'll rely on my goaltending coach. I'll maybe suggest some things to my goaltending coach, or when I talk to my player as a goalie, sees things that I'm seeing from where the players are shooting, where I see this and that. But for him to have that conversation, to be like, listen, I'm seeing you, you're going down way too much. You need to be more upright. Kudos to him, because that is a difficult conversation to have with a goaltender who is that established as a non-goaltender. That I have to give him a lot of praise for that, because that is not an easy conversation, and that takes some stones to basically tell a goalie who's been playing this style his entire life to say, listen, maybe it's worked before, but I'm seeing you're getting way too exposed here. I thought that was fantastic as well.
Well, it shows that he's not settling in either. Well, he's not being complacent. He wants this to work. I love it. Last game, and then again, Grinder's coming. Bandits defeat the Seals. I mean, good Lord. 3 goals in 3 quarters, and not so fast, said the 3-time defending champs, who keep on finding life. It's unbelievable. They do it every year, and every year I'm shocked by it. I don't get it at this point. 6,000 reported attendance. Buffalo 8-6. San Diego now 6-8. San Diego, like I said, led 7-3. Dane Smith, his last 2 goals were the regulation setter and the overtime winner. The overtime winner was absolutely gross. He made Graydon Bradley look really like, oh, I'm just here just to watch the game. That was incredible. Thank you, Dane. Matt Vince, 38 saves, but he was good. I don't know if you've seen Mr. Stu's stat line. It's pretty gross as well. Ben McIntosh, God forbid if Wesley Berg had a pulse right now, because Ben McIntosh has been awesome. But the question here, you can touch on all that if you want to. Was this more about a Buffalo comeback or a San Diego collapse?
This, again, I hummed and hawed. It's a great question. And when I look at this on the surface level, I think you could say, oh man, that is such a gut-wrenching loss for San Diego. How did you blow that? Oh, like that is so tough. And to be honest, all things that are said, that can be true. 4 straight losses now. You had Buffalo on the ropes. You had an opportunity to win, and you couldn't get it done. At the end of the day, though, it felt like they were hanging on to dear life the entire game. Because it was a masterclass defensively, a masterclass from Origlieri. They limited shots. They were putting the Bandits in bad situations. And you talk about Mitch DeSnew and his crazy stat line. Sure, it was great, but Mitch DeSnew also had a couple of really bad decisions in transition. He had a couple of really bad miscues defensively. I've talked to PK from the Buffalo Sports Collective, and I've said this actually on air before, I think even too. Mitch DeSnew is 2021 Josh Allen. Most nights he's going to come out with 5, 6, 7, or 8 plays that your jaw's on the floor and saying, wow, how did he do that? Unbelievable. But there's also going to be 1 or 2 plays a game where you're going to be like, wow, why did you do that?
The fumble against Denver where he holds
Yes, and that's vintage Josh Allen. That's the Josh Allen I'm talking about, not the Josh Allen that started to clean up his turnovers when Joe Brady came to town. I'm talking about that Josh Allen. And most nights, those doy plays that Mitch DeSnew does have are outweighed by the great play. But there are also nights in that 2021 season where Josh Allen didn't have as many great plays and had more doy plays. And that's how I felt here tonight with DeSnew. Sure, he had a great stat line, but there were some really, really bad plays there. So that's just the note on DeSnew. Sure. It's one game. He's probably going to have an unbelievable game next game, and you're not going to even think about those mistakes.
Also got a leg brace, but
yeah. you look up and down the lineup, though, like, they're turning the ball over in transition. Frustrating offense looks frustrated. So I thought San Diego did a really great job. And honestly, you mentioned great stat line. Shout out Zach Currier, 2 goals, 1 assist, 3 points, 9 loose balls, 3 caused turnovers. Like, the guy did absolutely everything that he could to try to get this team to win. But with all that being said, the offense did not do enough, because I thought Buffalo's defense and Matt Vince played great. And it was a slow slog, and the defense, I can guarantee, and Matt Vince, when he's coming to get water or at commercial break, was saying, hey, boys, we got you. We're good. Don't worry. And there was no panic. That Buffalo team, it looked like they were panicking at times, but they knew their defense is keeping them in. We're keeping them in. And sure, it took longer than that comeback probably wanted to. They knew they could get back in this game because it was never out of reach for them. They never felt like they were out of reach. At 7-3, that's nothing for the Bandits at the end of the third quarter.
They were down 8-5 with 3 minutes left.
Yeah. But that, again, I don't think that was a part. That was a little more, okay, now we really got to get going.
Sure.
But their defense allowed them to stay in that game despite all the offensive struggles. But then when push came to shove, Mike, the Bandits locked in. They all their looks that they almost capitalized or that they thought were there that weren't there. Now it started to get exposed. And San Diego's defense started to get a little bit tired. Graydon Bradley played a fantastic game, but on 2 of the plays to end the game, 2 of them were on miscues by him. Great plays by the Bandits, but also miscues because he was playing, 58 minutes of unbelievable lacrosse. And same with Orig. He was unbelievable that entire game. And until, but I'd say this, like Joe Rez's goal, disgusting play. Scanlon's goal, great play. Dahoga's goal, great play. And then the 2 from Smith, I don't blame that on Origlieri either.
No.
Just to think you're going to hold this Bandits team, despite what you saw with them at the start of the year, 3 goals, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. The dam was going to break. And I put this more on San Diego's offense not being able to hold up their end of the bargain. But overall, this does say more to me about the Buffalo Bandits and their ability to still have that, those magic beans. to be able to never be out of games, to be able to pull, to rip defeat from the jaws of victory, or to rip victory from the jaws of defeat, I should say. for them,
They're Chuck Norris impressions.
Yeah, exactly. For them to be able to do that, the Buffalo Bandits, and I tweeted this, the Buffalo Bandits are inevitable. This team is back. This team is so back. They have a tough game against San Diego or Saskatchewan this week. If they lose this game, I'm still saying they're back. I still think they are a top 4 contender in this league. They are probably on their best of nights. They are probably a top 2 team in this league. Their ceiling is probably the highest. It's just their floor has been as low as we've ever seen it over the last couple of years, but we haven't seen this floor very, very much. We saw it in the first half. We saw it in the first half, but it wasn't for a full 60. This Bandits team's a problem, and that comeback just goes to prove to you that if anyone was doubting this team, and I think most people are now, okay, hands up. We were wrong. Chill out, AI camera. That's where I stand on this. Buffalo is back.
I mean, you're on a couple weeks late on this. Remember that? You weren't late on that. You've been bringing you were never done with them anyways. But
no, God no.
Why would you be? So it's funny because I mentioned that when the Joe Rez trade happened, the first game back, Rez major over points look funny, and then Lucas Nielsen scoring 2 goals. All right, and then this game, what does he do? He had no points besides, this 1 goal. We're down 8-5. Why don't I start the comeback with a nasty goal? They didn't need Joe Rez, but they also needed Joe Rez. Somebody to just wake him up at a moment's notice. He's not going to give you he looks every bit of his age right now, and it doesn't matter. He made the right moment. He was there in the right time. They pressed the button correctly. And like you said, their defense is ridiculous. San Diego's a team where I watch, and this is about a Bandits comeback in my opinion as well. When you're watching San Diego, they win every loose ball battle against every team except for, the Buffalo Bandits. I don't know what it is about Kyle Buchanan and Steve Priolo or any of those other guys that find a way to scoop it up and make the right play. They're doing it every single time. And San Diego gave their best transition effort, and Kyle Buchanan says, LOL, watch this. He was, at the end of regulation, I think you told me that you tweeted it, that he was awesome. And I said, wouldn't you know, 4 minutes into overtime, he's the one who scoops it up and hands it off to Dane, who says, break check, game winner.
Yep.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's, you know what? My big overreaction, and not to take this on a side tangent, maybe this is a conversation for later. My overreaction was going to be, are we sleeping on Dane Smith being the MVP this year?
I'll give you credit for saying that first. I was so close, man.
Because, listen, and this is not to take away from the seasons that Keegan Ball is having and what Jeff Teed is having and what Brett Dobson is having. And you know what? If you gave me a ballot right now, I probably have those 3 guys in front of them. But, and yes, Dane Smith has had way better statistical seasons. Dane Smith has broken records, has set his own records and broke those records. But when it comes from a true value and what they mean to their team, with the struggles of the offense, with the struggles of the team, when push comes to shove, it's been Dane Smith that has been the one consistently all year putting up great numbers. And perfect example, game tying goal, game winning goal. He has been phenomenal down this stretch. He's been phenomenal all year long. He just hasn't had crazy numbers that we're used to seeing from him. But down this stretch, since this winning streak, he has been great. And yes, Josh Byrne has been solid too, but not what we're seeing from Dane Smith. We have never seen since, I shouldn't say never. It has been a long time since we've seen Dane Smith with this much of a point and point share And he's plus 30 goals already. Like he might be able to crest 40 goals this year. Like
so since 2016 72 goal season, I'm just going to read you what he's done. These are like full seasons that he's done this, all right? 30 goals, 37, 32, 15. That was 2020. 41, 36, 33, 32, 32. He has 32 this year. We have 4 games left. Mm-hmm. Like there is a scenario where for the first time his 20, he might. Should I make this prediction? I feel like he'll have more than he did in 2022. He needs 9 more to tie that. But since his 72 goal season, he's not gone over 40 but once. And he's gonna. I think I'll guarantee he'll hit 40. That's a tough guarantee. He needs 8 more, but I'll say he hits 40. He's gonna flirt with that 20. What was it again? That 2022 Dane Smith. We haven't seen this in a long time.
I agree, and that's why, like I said, there has to be a little more buzz when it comes to him being the MVP. And again, it's if you give me my ballot right now, I probably have Dobson 1. I probably have Ball 2, Teat 3. Dane Smith's probably my number 4 right now. Just top of my head without digging in here. But if they, let's say they win out, they get a home floor playoffs. He gets 40 plus goals. Let's say Dobson comes back to earth a little bit. Jeff Teat doesn't make the playoffs. Now I think it's a 2-horse race between Ball and him. And I would argue that, yes, Josh Byrne's on that team, but Josh Byrne hasn't been Josh Byrne this year. There's no Kluche. There's no Fraser. How are we not having this conversation? We need to start having this conversation.
I like that. Put him in the conversation. No, say he's the MVP right now.
Yep.
But pave the path, pave the road that'll maybe get him on that. I like that.
I love it.
I wish I knew how to say Greggy's Grinder in Spanish. I'm kidding. It's time for Greggy's Grinder, the best of the unsung heroes. Chuck Norris's of the unsung heroes. All right, pal. How many honorable mentions and how many winners?
Just one winner this week, and I just went with 2 honorable mentions, although I already kind of gave a bit of an honorable mention to Zach Courier, but we know we don't give losses, or we don't give Grinder awards to losers, unfortunately. I also was going to do Ryan Dilks again. He won it last week, so I felt like it'd be a little bit cheap to give him an honorable mention. So technically an honorable mention. He was unbelievable again. His numbers were even better than they were last week, I think. But a big reason why Saskatchewan kind of looked a little shaky on offense was because of Dilks. Once again, he is now pushing his name into the Defender of the Year category once again. Unbelievable what we're seeing from him this year. But my 2 official honorable mentions, Mike, will go with that. And I think you might have one of these guys based off what you're talking about. But you and I have been very critical of this guy all season long. When he plays well, you got to give him credit. Landon Kels, 11 minutes and 47 seconds, went 11 for 11. That's all he had to do. He was a closer, came in, closed the game, and things started to go a little bit sideways. Like you said, Mike, like Rochester could have, they took the lead at one point in this game. Mm-hmm. Things were going sideways, but he came in, settled the ship, allowed his offense to get back on track, and they ran away with this thing, and they looked calm and cool and collected, just like him in between the pipes. And for a guy that lost his job to Alex Bouquet, he could have easily, could have moped around, felt sorry for himself, but he comes in, and comes in and does a great job in cleanup duty. Got to give Landon Kels some flowers for that performance. My second honorable mention, and was really close to being a Grinder winner this week, but Latrell Harris of the Toronto Raptors. To be quite honest, Mike, he's been a monster since this entire winning streak. And to be honest, he's kind of been on a tear since before the second game against Colorado at home. Apparently during the week, Matt Sawyer picked up the phone. They had a long conversation. He essentially challenged him to be better, to be even better than he was, and to be a leader. And since that moment, he has been unbelievable. And this weekend was no difference. Tossing bodies all over the floor. He was involved in the transition game again, scored a big goal. He just was exactly what the Toronto Rock defense is exemplified. Fast, mean, transition ability, and swagger. That's what it was. That was a typical Latrell Harris game. And one thing that always kind of justifies these picks for me too, Mike, is what did the players and what did the coaches think of the performance? But if you go to their social media after the game, he puts on the player of the game. They gave him the player of the game jacket for his performance. So obviously his teammates recognized how good he was. Word of the day, swagger. I love it. So no doubt Latrell Harris was very close, but this guy, we've already talked about him. This guy was so integral for Buffalo to come back for a magnitude of reasons. But we'll go back to the final minute, down 1. Dane Smith's looking for that skip pass behind the net. Great deflection by San Diego. It goes in the corner. And little water bug, Kyle Buchanan with 3 yellow jerseys, big bodies draped all around him. Slash, stick goes out, picks up the loose ball. Bam, over to Dane Smith. 2 seconds later, Dane Smith gets the ball back. Bam, in the back of the net. That wasn't it, though. You talked about it. I mentioned it on Twitter. He creates that space, slips to the middle of the floor, drags his defender to that back pipe. Now that opens up a full alley for Dane Smith to go one-on-one with his man. Little jab step, fakes underneath, shoots around his defender, clean shot. Slide is too far away now for any double to be able to come because Buchanan has cleared out all that space. And he allowed Dane Smith to have that opportunity to have that. Oh, and also too, Mike, a goal, 4 assists, 5 points, and a caused turnover. Just another casual day for the Nepean Nightmare, Kyle Buchanan.
But we need nicknames like that in the National Lacrosse League. Barbecue, Nepean Nightmare, get out of here, man. I want to first touch on Kyle Buchanan, and I'm going to show you my lunchbox soon. That's sounding really weird. As a guy who's like a water bug, him and like guys like Nathan Grunin, even though he somehow can't find ways on the rosters or full-time rosters, they are the epitome of why it doesn't matter how, like, what body size you are in the NLL. There's a roster spot for you, but not if the team wants it, if you want it. So I got to give credit to Buchanan because every week, I mean, talk about a quiet 5 points, man. Like, just no one's like Buffalo fans are going to love him forever. Hardcore fans like yourself and me are going to love him. Man, he ain't getting no conversations. But you talk about the greatest water bugs and the greatest lunch pails of all time. He's right up there.
Mm-hmm.
And could he go out there and try to take a bunch more shots and be selfish with a bad team? Sure, put him on the wings. I bet you can't get a lot of goals on the wings. Come on and bump all that. I don't need that. Who needs that kind of player? No, I do what I do. Y'all can lose. I'm gonna win. I'm gonna help Dane Smith win. How's that? That's what I love it. Do, man.
I love it.
Mr. Latrell Harris. I keep saying this line, dude. NFL teams better be or like probably kicking themselves that this guy's didn't choose football. Okay, what a monster!
I know.
I have one honorable mention. I can't say the word. One honorable mention and one lunchbox. All right, I'll do the lunchbox last. My honorable mention is going to go to the doctor. Now, I am going to admit this now. I do think we will have multiple time winners on Lunchbox and Grinder, but this is a trial and error period. I think it's good to have different guys, but the doctor did everything he could. And when you're on a leg brace out there, dude, it's hard for me to get up out of this chair after doing this podcast, man. So I give all shout out to Mitch DeSnew. That being said, I thought this was like a leather handle for the record. Last week, I don't know if you caught this clip, Pat. I made a mistake of saying that John Wayne was on Bonanza. He was not on Bonanza.
Yes.
He was on Gunsmoke. Oh, Gun. Did I grab?
Did you grab the wrong one?
Oh my God. I don't even know what this is. There was a Gunsmoke, right? What did I do? I was wondering walking upstairs, why is this thing not with like Gunsmoke? So shout out to Roy Rogers and Dale Evans in Double Bar Ranch. What the heck is this? I just couldn't believe we had a Gunsmoke lunchbox, and I'll show it to you next week. That being said, my winner, you son of a gun, you. Even though I'll take a step further here, it is Landon Kells, because I don't know if maybe I see a scenario where Kells was thinking, okay, let's say Rochester gets to my boy Bouquet early. I'm coming in second quarter or third quarter. By the time he came in, it's like, oh, me, coach? Me? This is great. Thank you so much for this opportunity. 11 for 11. Give me a break. Oh, and by the way, you mentioned Bouquet took his job. When Caleb Kahn does hit puberty, I know his voice has, but when he actually does hit goalie puberty, Kells will be out of a job. But right now, man, Landon Kells said, in case any teams are inquiring about me, I probably don't want to be a backup. And he's also a longtime follower of the show. So I've been critical, and he has also grinded through me being critical of him. Shout out to you, Landon Kells, even though this guy stole my thunder.
I love it.
Were you thinking I was going to put Kells, or did you know that before the show?
No, I didn't know that before the show. I did say that when you did mention I'm going to talk about this guy later in the show.
Whatever.
I was like, oh, great. Well, it doesn't matter. You know what? He deserves it. I didn't give him he wasn't the grinder of the week. So I gave him honorable mention. You went full out and gave him that nod. Well deserved. Not going to argue it at all.
Jacob Hickey was good too. A lot of Swarm guys were, but I don't know if you're a grinder if you grind through a blowout, like you grind through a collapse like that. I couldn't do it. No.
Jacob Hickey was circled on my preliminary list as well. But you're right. The way that they looked in the second half, and maybe not Jacob Hickey himself. But yeah, that defense was rough in that fourth quarter. So I couldn't give it. Could not give it to him. Yeah.
Thank you, Pat. For the time again, you were back. I know you had some busy stuff going on, and you're probably filling out a bracket, but we'll forgive you. We'll forgive you.
Bracketology, man, it takes a long time. Okay.
I haven't watched a lick of college basketball. This is my best year yet. I love this. Thank you.
It's funny how that works. Right?
It's the more you how it works.
It's so true. I'm doing great too, and I did not watch nearly as much college ball as I have in years past. So
he's a fraud. Thank you, Pat.
Yeah, I know. The more you know, the worse you're off on your bracket, I guess.
Thank you, man.
All right, see ya.
Don't forget, folks, Pat Gregoire also has another show he goes on. It's called the OTCB. That's actually his regular show, if you wouldn't believe that. But they had a great work by him and Teddy. When we come back, we got one more segment. It's time for 3 stars of the weekend. And yeah, but we thank Pat for his time and Captain. We'll be right back, folks. Don't go anywhere.
You're listening to North American Talk Radio, the all-new talk radio station featuring sports, movies, politics, mental health, and more. Check us out at natalkradio.com and subscribe today. Buy event tickets straight from our website to help the cause and get tickets to your favorite events for less. That's natalkradio.com. Thanks for listening.
Don't worry, folks. I'm hungry too. It is 11:47 on the East Coast, and I'm getting a little bit hungry here, but we have one more quick segment to do. We have to give our 3 stars. And unlike other people who just look at box scores, oh, that guy had 5 goals. No, we don't do that here. I watch the games, and I like to see who truly performed the best, and his team needed him to do so, all right? So, again, you're watching Daily Dive, the only live Monday through Friday lacrosse talks on the planet, focused mainly on the NLL. It is Monday, March 23rd, 2026. Reminder, there's NLL merchandise found at natalkradio.us/NLL. Be sure to support your player and your team around your city at that website. NLL merch. I love it. All right. There is no graphics for this on the air today, but there will be in about probably 30 minutes on social media. So follow us at Daily Dive LAX for these. But 3rd star, he only had 3 goals and a primary assist, but Dane Smith, I mean, those last 2 goals, when your team had not really scored a lot and they needed a tying goal in a game winner, Dane Smith looked like he wanted those shots, and he got them. He's up to 32 goals in the year, but Dane Smith is my 3rd star of the week. Number 2, the second most important star, is going to be hat trick, 3 primary assists, 7 loose balls, Keegan Ball. Vancouver only scored 10 goals. He was responsible directly for 6 of them. I told you guys, secondary assists, I'm like, whatever, man. I'm not going to go down that tangent right now. But 3 goals, and 3 times he passed the ball, and his guy scored pretty quickly. Not a bad deal. He also had the late clutch goal to really put the icing on the dagger in their hearts. Keegan Ball. And when Jeff Teets on the other side, and it's funny because remember when Kermalowski got there, I believe 2 years ago, almost, and he was in the media challenging this guy that he could be the best player in the world if he wants to. He's on a lot of people's MVP bouts, and I know Curtis Dixon's been really good, especially with goal scoring, but all season long, on a roster that is stacked and has probably been a little bit sleepy, he's been the main constant every single game. 2nd star this week for Keegan Ball. And the 1st star is going to go to a man who, although he had 5 goals with 0.2 seconds left, let your dirty socks rain down in Denver. Andrew Q, 6 goals, 4 primary assists for 10 true points, whatever you want to call them, and 6 loose balls. Andrew Q, guys, I was looking at a stat before this game. Andrew Q, and I need you guys to understand the historic trend that he's on. Andrew Q in 2024 scored 36 goals. Andrew Q last year with Georgia, 28 goals. Andrew Q this year, 43 goals. Heck, 2023, he had 43 goals. Do you know why those numbers are so interesting despite being kind of similar? His shots on goal have gone down. He had 43 goals with 171 shots on goal in 2023. He now has 43 goals on 117. That makes no sense, but he's doing it. Again, 117 shots on goal. Do you realize how hard that is? I have been watching this shot percentage stuff for 4 years. This is by far the best I've seen. It doesn't make sense. He has a 36.8 shot percentage. There have been years where you might have seen my tweets where I'm like, this guy has like Like the league leader has like 25%. And a lot of times you had to do like, well, they scored at least this much. He leads the league in goals and has a 36 shot. It doesn't make sense to me. And I don't think anyone's ever done that. And I haven't even looked at the years before this, like before 2022 or 2021. This is impossible what he's doing. Shouts to Andrew Q, man, because I was a skeptic, and he just dropped right into that offense and does not miss. It doesn't make sense to me. That's your 3 stars. Wow. If there's a case for MVP, we need to seriously start talking if shot percentage does matter, because that's unfair. Thanks for watching today's show. It is now almost noon officially. I had a little bit of about a 7-minute late start. I worked night shifts for the record, and at 9:50 I woke up, and my alarm was set for about an hour before that. So I wanted to get a nap in before work, and I definitely got one in before work, but we did well. Thank you for Captain for waiting for me. Thank you for Pat Gregoire for joining the show once again. You guys have a great rest of your day. We'll see you guys tomorrow, same time, same place, probably 10 o'clock for the record. North American Talk Radio on YouTube. This has been Daily Dive. Enjoy your Monday. Bye.